Today's horoscope from Astrology Gemini, October 22, 2022. There is some tendency to dwell on past problems or unfinished business today, dear Aquarius, which can weigh you down or dampen your spirit temporarily. Circumstances can reveal where you've been overly attached. Ideally, transits now help you identify the steps you can take to free yourself from fear. You may be experiencing difficulties keeping things to yourself, or differing belief systems can trigger buried frustration. Consider that micromanaging or obsessing over a problem is likely to be self-destructive right now. Watch also for processing so much information that you suffer from sensory overload. Aim to detach yourself enough to regain your composure. You are especially attracted to meaningful, unusual, or different topics with Mercury in your solar 9th house these days. While it's a primarily breezy transit, energies are a bit tricky with communications later today. Take the time if you need it to connect confidently with an opinion or idea. Differences are likely to be glaring just for now, but they can offer learning experiences. It's an excellent time to see flaws and differences more clearly, opening up a chance to repair problem areas. It's hard to shake you from your strength and reserve, Aquarius. You're one of the proudest and most analytical zodiac signs of all. However, today's cosmic weather will toss explosions into a lava pit, spewing devastation into the wind for miles. This is because the mighty sun will cross swords with a fearsome Pluto in the heavens above. Power struggles could erupt with total annihilation, burning relationships to the ground. Take a breather, unplug, and walk away from anything that provokes you. Fighting with red eyes and teeth like daggers won't help you win anything in the end when your love is being sacrificed. Tap into your leadership capabilities, Aquarius. You have the ability to make a change or assume control of your professional journey when the Sun in Libra squares Pluto in Capricorn. However, you have to believe in yourself as the square hits your subconscious outlook on your career path. Be confident in your inner CEO to move forward with your professional development. Since Mercury in Libra also opposes Chiron retrograde in Aries, it might be best to focus on what you need to do instead of taking everyone's comments into consideration. In the lead up to the moon's return to your financial sector tomorrow, this is an important point in any month for having your antennas up while taking a wait-and-see approach. Even more so with the moon returning to tie up loose ends after Mercury left last week, but also for a deeper dive into money matters before Jupiter returns to your income sector next week. With so much focus on politics, it is easy to lose track of the daily wellness program we all need to keep in order to stay healthy and take advantage of the many privileges we have in our modern society. This is a good time to take stock of what you have and how you can put it to its best use. Take your body for example. Can it do all the things you dream of doing, realistically speaking? Work at it gently. Organized and pragmatic, you tend to refuse any opportunity to dream. You are currently trying to wrap up some big files and are neglecting your friends and family. You hate having to use your imagination and only savor moments that you entirely master. This should evolve rapidly, and the current vibrations will be strongly encouraging this. In terms of health, you should change the way you eat and get a little bit more exercise. Just 3 days before the Sun and Venus will not only return to begin the first planetary activity on the career front for the year but will arrive aligned. Their alignment begins today in an adventurous part of your chart. While Mercury will stay on until the end of next week, when he leaves, this will end all planetary activity in this adventurous part of your chart for the year. With Mars staying on in a playful and creative part of your chart for the rest of the year, there is no danger of life becoming all work and no play, but this is still something worth fighting for. In a case of perfect timing, as the moon makes its monthly visit to your relationship sector, it clashes with Saturn, for the last time while in retrograde motion in Aquarius. While this might push some buttons, this last visit before Jupiter leaves your communication sector next week is a chance to flush out any issues in order to give them a voice. Our eyes in the sky. Today brings a healing vibration to balance yesterday's energetic aspects. Mercury in Libra opposes Centaur Chiron in Aries, and this aspect helps you see the overview of what's going on instead of getting caught in the trenches of the current cosmic alignments. It's a new take on an old story with poetic undertones being brought to the surface via this fixed dynamic. This aspect could cause someone or something to try to throw you off your game. Stay mentally positive and know that the shade being sent your way has nothing to do with who you are. It's all about what you trigger in others in general. Sometimes jealousy comes out in weird ways, and, unfortunately, it can be sparked by someone's inability to see who they are in the mirror. Luckily, the karmic connections require everybody to contend with their own demons. Nobody is getting off easy here, and right now zooming out and looking at the forest instead of the trees is the best strategy of all. The square of both Mercury and Venus in Libra to Pluto in Capricorn adds context to the plan and helps those with business ambitions to ground to their ideas. It's a perfect day to dive into your career pursuits, which is where you can meet your competitors head-on. In the morning, the Libra Sun makes its biannual square to Pluto in Capricorn, prompting power struggles. Although conflict may manifest in the form of a partnership dispute or fight with a coworker, Plutonian transits are always indicative of a struggle occurring at an interior, psychological level. We feel out of control now, as if we are a pawn in a game we have not elected to play. Toxic relationship dynamics are highlighted, causing us to question why we put up with hostile treatment. Ultimately, square aspects create tension to expose problematic behavior, and with the exposure comes a choice. Do we continue to yield our power to these stronger and seemingly relentless forces, or do we remove ourselves from the situation? From the Libra Sun's point of view, we might feel obligated to keep the peace. Anger, even righteous anger, poses a threat to our lifestyle, titles, and position of influence. Yet, this transit asks us how much of our confidence we are willing to sacrifice for appearance's sake. Likely, we've done this to get into another's good graces. Yet, we've wound up wondering whether being held in another's esteem is worth the stress. We shouldn't need to hype ourselves up to impress others. Now we assess the matter at hand with a more measured mindset. We've learned it's possible to be excited about something without sacrificing our integrity to see it through. If this is your day to have fun, don't be surprised if it turns sour thanks to an overwhelming feeling that you should be working, or you should be productive in some way. If you are at work today, your overall productivity will be strong. Following this, the Leo moon squares off with Uranus in Taurus, provoking frustration. This aspect adds fuel to the fire of the Sun-Pluto square. Under the Leo moon, we want to feel special and shiny. We want to be recognized for our contributions. And the fact is, we don't feel special today. We feel like we must submit, rather than stand out, to be rewarded. In response, we decide to rebel. Indeed, this influence may tip the scales, finally pushing us to say, "No more." A thoughtless comment or an emotional outburst could seal our fate by spelling the cathartic end of a toxic relationship.